Have you ever felt like you're on a roller coaster you can't get off? The highs are great, but the lows feel like they're going to break you. Your mood swings with every piece of good or bad news, every like on social media, every comment from your boss. What if I told you there's a way to get off that ride? An ancient operating system for the human mind that can help you find peace and resilience, no matter what life throws at you. This isn't some new age fad. It's a philosophy that has guided emperors and slaves for over 2,000 years. It's called Stoicism, and it might just be the key to reclaiming your inner freedom. Let's travel back in time. Imagine the most powerful man in the world, the Roman Emperor, Marcus Aurelius. He faced plagues, constant warfare, and political betrayal. Yet every night, he would sit down and write to himself, not about his power or his problems, but about how to be a better, more virtuous person. His private journal, now known as Meditations, is one of the greatest books ever written on Stoic philosophy. Now picture a man born into the opposite circumstances, Epictetus. He was a slave in Rome, his body literally owned by another person. He endured immense hardship, but discovered a profound truth. While his body could be chained, his mind could not. He taught that our true freedom lies in how we choose to respond to the world. An emperor and a slave, separated by status, but united by a philosophy that gave them both unshakable inner strength. Fast forward to today. Does any of this sound familiar? You post a photo online and spend the next hour obsessively checking for likes and comments, your self-worth hanging on the whims of an algorithm. You get a slightly critical email from your boss, and your entire day is ruined, replaying their words in your head. You get stuck in traffic and feel a wave of rage, as if the universe is personally conspiring against you. We might not be slaves in chains, but many of us are enslaved by externals. We've handed over the keys to our happiness to things we can't control. Other people's opinions, career outcomes, even the weather. We're constantly reacting, tossed about by the waves of circumstance. This isn't freedom. This is a prison of our own making, and Stoicism offers the way out. So, are you ready to try an experiment? A 30-day challenge to install this ancient operating system into your modern life. Think of it as a mental boot camp. For the next 30 days, we're going to explore and apply the core principles of Stoicism, one step at a time. It won't be about suppressing your emotions or becoming a robot. It's about transforming them. It's about building a mental fortress that can withstand the storms of life. This isn't just about feeling better. It's about becoming better, stronger, and more resilient. The goal is simple: to find a stable sense of well-being that does not depend on the chaotic world outside, but on the solid ground within. Your journey to inner peace starts right now. The first and most fundamental principle we need to install is what Epictetus called the Dichotomy of Control. It's incredibly simple, but profoundly life-changing. Imagine drawing a circle around yourself. Everything inside that circle is what you have complete control over. Everything outside of it is what you don't, what's inside. Your thoughts, your judgments, your choices, your actions, your attitude, that's it. What's outside? Everything else. The weather, the economy, what other people think of you, whether you get that promotion, your health in the long run. The Stoics argue that 99% of our anxiety, frustration, and suffering comes from trying to control what's outside the circle. We waste our energy worrying about things we can't influence. The secret to tranquility is to focus all of our energy exclusively on what's inside the circle, our own responses. You can't control the traffic, but you can control your reaction to it. You can't control a client's decision, but you can control the quality of the work you present. This single shift in perspective is the foundation of everything else. Let me tell you a story that perfectly illustrates this power. It's the story of Etty Hillesum, a young Jewish woman living in Amsterdam during the Nazi occupation. As the horrors of the Holocaust closed in around her, she began reading Stoic philosophy and writing in a diary. She was surrounded by the worst evils imaginable, stripped of her rights and facing certain death. Yet, her diaries are not filled with despair. Instead, they are a testament to the power of the human spirit. She wrote about finding beauty in a small patch of sky, about her determination to not hate her persecutors, and about her commitment to serving others in the concentration camp. She knew she couldn't control the barbed wire, the guards, or her ultimate fate. But she knew she could control her inner response. She chose compassion over hatred, courage over fear, and inner freedom over spiritual surrender. Etty Hillesum's body was imprisoned, but her soul remained free. She is a powerful, modern example of the dichotomy of control in action, showing that even in the darkest of times, we have the power to choose who we want to be. Now, let's make this practical. Here are 2 exercises to start your 30-day experiment. The first is the morning inventory. As soon as you wake up, before you check your phone, take a minute to think about the day ahead. Mentally walk through your schedule. For each event, ask yourself, what is up to me and what is not up to me? For your big presentation, the quality of your preparation is up to you. Your boss's reaction is not. In that difficult conversation, speaking honestly and calmly is up to you. The other person's response is not. This simple practice primes your brain to apply the dichotomy of control throughout the day. The second exercise is the pause protocol. Whenever you feel a strong negative emotion, anger, anxiety, frustration, just pause. Take 1 deep breath before you react. In that brief moment, ask yourself, is this emotion coming from something I can control or something I can't? This pause creates a space between stimulus and response, and in that space lies your power to choose a wiser, more virtuous action. Don't just listen to this. Try it. Start tomorrow. This is just the beginning of our journey. We've laid the groundwork, understanding the problem of being enslaved by externals and learning the foundational principle of the dichotomy of control. You now have 2 simple but powerful tools, the morning inventory and the pause protocol, to begin your practice. For the next week, focus solely on this. Notice how often your peace is disturbed by things outside your control. Practice pausing. Practice choosing your response. This isn't about perfection, it's about practice. In our next video, we'll build on this foundation and explore the Stoic art of dealing with setbacks, insults, and life's inevitable challenges. We'll learn how to turn obstacles into opportunities. Thank you for starting this journey with me. Be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss the next step in our 30-day Stoic challenge. See you next time. Have you ever found yourself endlessly scrolling, comparing your life to others, and feeling like something's missing? What if I told you there's a simple, ancient technique that can flip that feeling on its head, making you appreciate everything you have right now? It's called negative visualization, and it might just be the most counterintuitive secret to happiness you've ever heard. It's not about being pessimistic. It is about strategically thinking about loss to unlock a profound sense of gratitude and joy for what you already possess. Stick around, because this 2,000-year-old Stoic practice could completely change your perspective on life. So, what exactly is negative visualization? The concept comes from Stoicism, an ancient Greek and Roman philosophy. Thinkers like Seneca, Epictetus, and Marcus Aurelius weren't just gloomy guys in togas, they were practical psychologists. They understood that our minds have a funny habit of taking things for granted. The car that always starts, the friend who always answers your calls, the simple ability to get out of bed in the morning. We often don't truly appreciate these things until they're gone. Negative visualization is the practice of preemptively imagining that loss. It's a mental fire drill. You don't want a real fire, but practicing the drill makes you prepared and appreciative of your safety. By periodically and calmly imagining life without the people, possessions, and abilities you hold dear, you aren't inviting disaster. You're simply reminding yourself of their immense value. It's about rehearsing loss to appreciate the presence. Let's make this practical. How do you actually do it? It's simpler than you think. You don't need a special cushion or a silent retreat. You can do it right now. Start small. Pick something in your life you often overlook. Maybe it's your morning cup of coffee. As you drink it, take a moment to imagine you couldn't have it. Perhaps the coffee machine broke, or you ran out of beans, or for some reason, coffee just wasn't available anymore. Feel that tiny pang of disappointment. Now bring your attention back to the warm mug in your hands, the rich aroma, the comforting taste. Doesn't it suddenly feel more special? That's negative visualization in action. You've just transformed a routine act into a moment of genuine pleasure and gratitude. You can apply this to almost anything. Think about your job. Even if it's stressful, imagine for a moment that you lost it tomorrow. Think about the uncertainty, the loss of income, the disruption to your routine. Now think about the stability it provides, the colleagues you interact with, the skills you use. It doesn't mean you have to love every aspect of your job, but it can help you appreciate the security and purpose it brings to your life. Or consider your health. We often complain about minor aches and pains, but take a second to visualize what life would be like with a serious illness or injury, unable to walk, see, or even breathe easily. Suddenly, the ability to take a walk in the park or read a book becomes a precious gift, not a given. This isn't about scaring yourself. It's about shifting your baseline of what you consider normal and fortunate. Now, let's talk about the big one: relationships. This is where negative visualization can be most powerful, and also where it requires the most care. The Stoics would regularly contemplate the mortality of their loved ones. This sounds incredibly morbid, but their goal was not to dwell in sadness. Instead, it was to cherish every moment with them. Think about a person you love, a partner, a parent, a child, a close friend. Imagine, just for a moment, that this is the last time you will ever see them. What would you say? How would you act? You'd likely be more patient, more loving, more present. You wouldn't get bogged down by petty arguments or minor annoyances. By mentally rehearsing their absence, you make their presence infinitely more valuable. It transforms your interactions from routine to sacred. It reminds you to say, "I love you," to give that extra hug, and to truly listen, because you are acutely aware that this time together is finite and precious. It's crucial to understand the difference between negative visualization and anxious worrying. Worrying is uncontrolled, repetitive, and unproductive. It's when your mind gets stuck in a loop of what if, creating anxiety and stress without any positive outcome. Negative visualization, on the other hand, is a controlled, intentional, and brief exercise. You are the one in charge. You choose what to focus on, you explore the feeling for a short period, and then you consciously return to a state of gratitude for the present reality. It's a tool, not a trap. If you find the exercise is making you anxious, you're likely letting it drift into worry. The key is to keep it short, and to always end by focusing back on the positive. The fact that what you feared losing is still right here with you. Let's look at the psychological benefits. This practice does a few amazing things for our brains. First, it combats what psychologists call hedonic adaptation. That's the tendency for humans to quickly return to a relatively stable level of happiness, despite major positive or negative life events. You get a new phone, and it's exciting for a week. Then it's just your phone. Negative visualization is a direct antidote to this. It keeps things fresh and prevents you from taking your good fortune for granted. Second, it builds resilience. By mentally preparing for potential hardship, you become better equipped to handle it if it ever actually happens. The Stoics believed that if you've rehearsed poverty in your mind, you'll be less terrified if you face financial trouble. You've already explored that territory mentally, making the reality less daunting. It's like building psychological armor. So, how can you integrate this into your daily life? Start a small, consistent habit. Maybe for 2 minutes every morning, while you're still in bed, think of 3 things you're grateful for. And for each one, briefly imagine it wasn't there. Then feel the rush of appreciation that it is. You could do it during your commute, thinking about your home or your family waiting for you. Or you can use it as a spot treatment. Feeling annoyed that your Wi-Fi is slow? Imagine having no internet at all. Frustrated with a family member? Take a deep breath and use the technique we discussed earlier. It's a versatile tool you can pull out whenever you feel dissatisfaction creeping in. The goal isn't to live in a constant state of imagined loss, but to sprinkle these moments throughout your day to recalibrate your gratitude meter. To be clear, this practice does not mean you should accept injustice or stay in genuinely bad situations. If your job is toxic or a relationship is harmful, negative visualization isn't about tricking yourself into being happy with it. It's about appreciating the good things in your life. It gives you the mental clarity to distinguish between a first-world problem and a genuine crisis. It helps you focus your energy on solving real problems rather than complaining about minor inconveniences. It empowers you to act from a place of strength and appreciation, not from a place of constant dissatisfaction. It's a philosophy of robust, resilient contentment. So, here's your challenge. For the next week, try it. Just once a day. Pick one thing. Your health, a person, a possession, your morning coffee. And spend just 1 minute practicing negative visualization. Imagine it's gone. Feel that brief sense of loss, and then flood your mind with gratitude that it's still here. See how it changes your mood and your outlook. You might be surprised at how such a simple, counterintuitive trick can bring so much joy and peace into your life. It's not about ignoring the negative. It's about using it as a launchpad for a more profound appreciation of the positive. It's the art of turning potential sorrow into present joy. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this ancient wisdom helps you find more happiness in your everyday life. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing for more content on practical philosophy and personal growth. Let me know in the comments below if you've ever tried this or what you plan to start with. See you in the next one.